These two books get discussed on the internet a lot. Successful YouTubers attribute their success to these books. Bloggers review them, people love them, people hate them. This week on the channel, I bought Austin Kleon's Show Your Work and Steal Like an Artist, and I'm going to tell you what I think. If you've been thinking about buying one or both of these books for yourself or for someone else, hopefully today we can go through them and let you know if that's a good idea. So if that sounds interesting, stay with me till the end. For now, let's get going. So, Austin Kleon, Steal Like an Artist and Show Your Work. Steal Like an Artist, published in 2012 by Workman Publishing Company. Show Your Work, same publishing company, 2014. They are both 6 inches by 6 inches exactly. They each have about 200 pages, but most of them are pictures and quotes and little diagrams and doodles. So if you're trying to read this book, my guess is the average person won't take even an hour to read either of them. Both eventually became New York Times bestsellers. Each book has a price listed inside of $12.95 US, and I think for that price, they're a pretty good value. If you want to know what each book is about, you flip them over, you look at the back. 10 points on the back of each one that provides a summary of the basic concepts discussed in each book. I go over each one, but each book basically has one concept that's key to it. Steal Like an Artist tells you don't be afraid to be derivative. If you're starting some kind of creative process and you're afraid to do it because someone else has already done it and what more could you add? Steal Like an Artist is all about how you shouldn't let that stop you from starting a creative life or a creative endeavor of some kind. You shouldn't be afraid to try just because someone else has already tried something similar before you. Show Your Work addresses another main fear people have before they get into any kind of creative endeavor, and that's what's so special about me. And if I try to create something, whether it's a blog, a YouTube channel, whatever it is, won't people criticize me? Won't they say, hey, you're no genius, you're no expert, you don't know what you're doing? And of course, if you keep doing that, you never get creative. You never try any process. You never try changing jobs. You never try painting. You never open the blog or start the YouTube channel. And you don't do that just because you're afraid. So Austin Kleon obviously wrote these 2 books to encourage people to try. So if you look at internet reviews of these books, you'll find there's sort of 2 camps. There's people who say these books are awesome, that these books inspired them to create something creative. Without these books, they wouldn't have had the push they needed. A lot of people attribute their success on YouTube or other social media platforms to having read one or both of these books. Then there's another camp. The other camp says these books are silly, they're juvenile, they're trivial, and they're far too basic. The idea that it's all form over substance, and it's really more like an Instagram feed or a Twitter feed or a bumper sticker in the form of a book. But to me, what's important about these books is that they're extremely popular. These are both New York Times best-selling books. And if you look on the internet, an awful lot of people have read these books and really like them. When that happens, I always get interested. I always want to understand what it is that makes people like something like this. Like it or not, we live in a time and an era where people prefer to get their information in small, digestible, Instagrammable amounts. These books are probably not for the person who wants an in-depth discussion about how to have a life as an artist of any kind. They're just not complex enough if what you want to do is expound on the ideas in this book. But if you've never read a self-help book that's designed to help people be creative, if you're just trying to look for that beginning push, these books are excellent. I like the punk rock zine kind of feel that they have. I think that's cool. And I like that I can read it really quickly because I find a lot of the points in the book, though I already knew them before I read it, are really good pieces of advice that you shouldn't forget, and they're really easy to forget. Occasionally, I find it kind of useful to pick up one of the books, flip through it, and remind myself, oh yeah, I'm not really doing that anymore with my career, with my YouTube channel, with whatever it is I'm trying to do. I work in the film and television industry. Creativity is what I market. So sometimes a little kick in the pants is just what everybody needs, even me, after 25 years. So I like their simplicity. I think that's valuable. And for $12.95 US, it's pretty hard to go wrong. So there you go. I hope that helped you out. If it did, please feel free to like or subscribe. Liking and subscribing can really help a channel, and if you could do that for this channel, I'd really appreciate it. And as always, take care, stay safe, have fun with your DIY projects, and I'll see you next Saturday.